ask them, one of the things, you know, some people might be here who are maybe not as guilty as one thinks, so those, but also a thought of, may they be able to understand from, you know, that they don't see it as a punishment, but as a way of maybe changing their life by understanding, oh, thank you, I don't want to go there anymore, and stopping what they did before that made them go there. It's one thought. May it be helpful, like, you know, the being in prison. But then also the other thought is, me, I think I'm free, isn't it? We pass there and we make this distinction. We make sometimes totally wrong distinctions. We make a distinction between the dying and the living. We're all dying. But we make this, you know, when somebody, I don't want to go there because, you know, I don't know what to talk about because she's dying or he's dying, and then you could die before them. What are you talking about? You know, don't separate yourself like this. And because, yeah, I have a future, they don't have a future. Who knows whether you will have your future? If you believe in rebirth, everybody has a future anyway, you know, so that's that. And but they know that they are in prison, so their whole thoughts go, how to get out of here. You know, even if the food is good, even if, like, Swiss prisons are, some people, Romanian people, when they get caught, when they go and burgle apartments, there's whole gangs who do that, they are happy to go to prison because they say it's more comfortable than in Romania. They have entertainment, sports, they can work, days, food, you know, you don't have to worry. And we had one ex-prisoner, he was in prison for 28 years, who came to the group in Bern. He was still in prison, but he was getting lighter and he was allowed out. And he said, I'm afraid of being let out. I have to look after myself, I have to pay insurance, I have to pay rent, I have to find an apartment. So this is us in samsara. I'm afraid to get out of here because I'm so used to it. Or, you know, the prison we are in, we are trying to make it more comfortable. So actually they have an advantage. The only thing is, you know, they want to get out of the wrong prison. And they could use it as a retreat place. There's this, I think he was an American who was shot down in the Korean War, and then he was put into, I don't know what it's called in English, you know, when you are alone, it's the biggest punishment, when they isolate you. Isolation, Einzelhaft in German. And he said, because his mind was trained, he said, it's great, he just went into retreat. All I go every morning is a bucket of water to wash me, and I didn't have to worry. So they did bring me food, but they didn't let me see anybody. It was perfect. So, yeah. So this is where we want to get to, in case we are in prison, or we are being in prison, then, you know, we can think, okay, now at least I don't have distraction, I have time, I can do, instead of feeling miserable. Did you watch your mind of it? Did you do your homework? Did you see some self-importance? You want to share? Shall I start? I saw mine this morning. I have an Israeli phone and a Swiss phone, okay? And the Swiss phone I only open maybe once a week or something. So there was a message that I thought was very important because I was invited for lunch. And I had to explain, no, I can't come. It's kind of a memorial lunch for a common friend that died, and it's her birthday, and so that friend of hers says, we are meeting all of her friends 19th November. Can you come for lunch? I had to write, no, I'm not in Bern, I'm in Austria, but we could do it another day. And somebody came and sat next to me wanting to tell me something. And I felt this, hey, it's not convenient, I need to write this message now. Come on, it's been sitting on my phone for 4 days, so it's like, what's the point? If I write it before I come here, I can write the message, you see. I felt this kind of, and it's not convenient for you now to be here and tell me something. Then I saw it, I was able to let go. So that's my story of my delusions. I didn't see any others because I was alone. Except for this morning, because where I'm staying, the lady was not home. when I came back and she came back, I was already asleep, so then how can I see my delusions? Nobody there. You know, when we talk friends, enemies, strangers, like the delusions that come up because we are with other people, that's what. Maybe I wasn't specific enough, you know, because that's what I wanted to get at. The advantage of being alone, you are not creating negative karma. Nobody brings up your delusions. So can you maybe go back last night, this morning? Did you notice something? Well, Netta, no, because you didn't hear about the homework, but you might have had some, you know, it can be very slight, because it was just a short moment. But these short moments create karma. Not a full action, because I didn't tell her in a very unkind way, don't you see I'm writing a message on my telephone, so you please wait before you start talking to me. That would have been a full action of kind of unkind speech, with the attitude of aversion behind it. I just have the attitude. So it doesn't create the full karmic imprint that makes you be reborn in a lower state, but it creates tendencies, habits. Me not meeting what I want to meet, okay? So, but from last night until this morning I was alone, so no problem. Yes?
So, an example I saw in my mind is like the stranger, that like looking at strangers and really understanding that I have like some sort of indifference, like not caring. Yeah, so that was interesting.
Wow, but that's a very slight delusion. That is wonderful when you see that, you know. Me, I only see it when it's aversion. Sometimes also, because as we were talking in the car, sometimes I see somebody and have this spontaneous kind of connection coming up. Like when I was in that shopping mall in Ashdod, I was waiting for somebody. I saw a couple who maybe, you know, 40 years old, and they had very tiny twins with the mother and father, or maybe it was grandmother, grandfather, I don't know. But in my mind, it was couples who couldn't get children, blah, blah, and they have twins and that. And they were feeding them, they were giving them the bottle. It was such a beautiful image. I mean, you know, even now just remembering it, I have tears in my eyes when I see this, because there is so much love and there's so much connection. And it's so beautiful to see this. And in my heart, I thank them for being there. And I saw this as an act of kindness to make me happy at that moment. Then a bit further down, I saw Lotus Pond with lotuses who were blooming. I thought about renunciation, you know, and things like that. So I was very grateful for the people who made that pond in the middle of a shopping mall. Didn't expect it there. So this is why we can, you know, during the day to be mindful of these moments when you have moments of, wow, maybe do you have butterflies here that are really beautiful? Yeah. When one of those comes, or just you fly, maybe not, I don't know. But you know, just something that wakes you up to see this as an act of kindness. And go, wow, so kind, the butterfly, to be here, to make me happy, to make me interested. Because every time we're interested, the first moment is neutral, and it's here. It's awake, and then the story starts. Like with this couple with the twins, right? It's like the first moment was so spacious and so pleasant, but then they couldn't get any children. Of course, then it makes me happy that now they have twins and things like that. But still, who knows if it's true? Maybe they adopted, maybe they're the grandparents, maybe it's uncle and aunt. I have no idea. So, but then we make the story, and then it becomes true, isn't it? Anybody else saw something? Okay, if you don't want to share also, because I don't want to expose you, then know it for yourself, that actually there is an advantage in being alone, because during that time there is much less chance to create a full negative action with, you know, an object, doing an action, being happy when you enter action and the motivation. So that's what yesterday was, this whole thing about going into retreat. Yeah. So if from time to time you can go into retreat, then that would be nice. So how we will start, maybe we will first read, I think not that one, it's the Nagarjuna's 20 verses, like yesterday, as motivation. And then whatever verse maybe you find meaningful, you let it sink in the reflection or meditation. If you prefer just to do silent meditation, just sitting and, just sitting and breath or nature of the mind or Buddha image or planning what you're going to do for tomorrow, which is such an important day, is it? If you were the cook, today you're having the silent meditation, is great chance that your mind will already be cooking. If you're not the cook, you might go, I wonder what they will make. Maybe I should hint that I don't like this, but I'd rather do something like that. So try. It's tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow to be there, to be happy with other people and enjoying the meal. Unless you took precepts, I'm going to take precepts tomorrow because it's new moon. So when I sent the reminder of this very small group, who usually takes precepts, so there's one woman in England, 2, 3 in Switzerland, if they can, because also sometimes family is difficult, and 2 from Israel usually, and 1 from Belgium, 2 from Belgium, me. And so I said, well, probably we won't see our Israeli friends tomorrow morning because it's expected that you go and eat. And I have to say I have the perfect excuse, and nobody gets offended, and everybody understands that I don't want to come to a family dinner, because I really think it is a family dinner, and of course family says, no, you're not disturbing. I know I'm not disturbing, but I don't feel part of it somehow. And I feel like, why should they be polite to me and talk in English when it's a family event? It's important, these family events. So, and sometimes people, they try to convince me how important it is. It's not important for me, I'm not Jewish. For me it's the 25th of September tomorrow, which is a Sunday. That's it. And so, sorry to say, And so when I say, no, I'm taking precepts, I don't eat in the evening, they say, then it's okay, they leave me alone. So I'm not offending anybody, so it's quite good. And I don't have to explain, I don't feel part of it, blah, blah, because they say, no, but you are, we love you very much. If I say I don't eat, everybody understands. That it's not suitable to come. So it's nice. So I was very happy when I saw that new moon, because we do this every full moon, every new moon, right? So when I saw it falls on New Year and on Sukkot.
Always like that. The holidays.
Yeah, but we didn't do. You see, we didn't do this on Zoom before this is new that I'm doing this on Zoom with people. Before I wouldn't take precepts.
Always the beginning of the month.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Because our calendar is.
Like the Tibetan one. So, but I wasn't aware of it until when I saw it, right? So now, in case I'm here for New Year, it will be the same, and for starting of Sukkot, the same thing. It's full moon.
It's full moon.
Yeah. So it's perfect. And nobody will get offended. If anybody is interested, by the way, just to go on that mailing list that I have, I put you on, and then I put, I send the dates, and the day before I send a reminder with the link. And here in Israel it's easy because I had to adjust also a bit, because in Switzerland it's 6 o'clock in the morning, England is 4 o'clock in the morning, and Israel is 7 o'clock in the morning. So that everybody can participate. It should be 6 because it's at 6 o'clock that it gets light, but then it's 4 o'clock in England, it's too early. So this is the nice thing about Buddhism, you can adjust, if it makes sense to adjust. Yeah. And then you have to be careful not to adjust too much. So like that. Okay, so we read these 20 verses. Sorry, I'm not ready yet. Here for. And then you maybe keep one verse or two verses that are very meaningful to you in your mind, and then we do 20 minutes just sitting and reflecting on whatever you find meaningful to reflect. Therefore, each day, 3 times a day, before the statue, stupa or elsewhere, you should perform the recitation of the following verses. That's for Buddhists. For non-Buddhists, it's also good. In the morning you get up. What is my path? What is my goal in life? What do I want to achieve? Do I have something or somebody that guides me there, that teaches me how to get there? Of course, if you think I'm already there, then no need for all this. Okay? But none of us is having lasting happiness, I think. Unless you wouldn't be sitting, if you would have, you wouldn't be sitting here. So it's good to think about your guide. Somebody who is a living example or inspires you. And here it says, I take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It doesn't have to be so stiff. Just, that's what I want to do. I am following these methods. And I see that I'm not applying them as I could, not should, but as I could. Don't go should, no good. Today, as much as possible, may I be aware of going towards my goal instead of going away from it. This is why refuge is so powerful. It reminds you what you want to do. Then you forget, of course. But then you take again. And it reminds you again. And slowly, slowly it becomes a habit. Yeah? We have an inner pilot of making our prison very comfortable. That works automatically. We don't have to say, oh, come on, try to think. Or put some effort. We just do it very automatically. When it's too hot, we take something off. It's too cold, we put something on. Or we go like this. If we're bored, we take the telephone. If the food is too salty, we add water. If it's not salty enough, we put salt on. Things like that. That's automatic pilot to make samsara more comfortable. But we can change that automatic pilot. How can I get out of here? By applying these methods. Or if you don't want to get out, to have a happier samsara by keeping ethical conduct. That also is possible. Nobody is forcing you to attain liberation and becoming a Buddha. Everybody can, nobody has to. It's okay. But we are stuck, as we said yesterday, with that strong wish of lasting happiness and being of benefit to others, having the means and the skills to be of benefit to them. We all have this wish, but we're very limited. And we all have the potential to be much bigger, but we're not going there. We kind of make our limitations more pleasant. A bit stupid, isn't it? Anyway. So what you do 3 times a day is honoring in all ways the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and also the Bodhisattvas. I take refuge in them, pay homage to those worthy of homage. It can be also non-Buddhists. To pay homage to those worthy of homage. It's a very virtuous mind. Makes us feel humble. Then we can learn from them. Then, very strong determination. I turn away from all negativity and embrace all merit. I rejoice in all the merit amassed by all sentient beings. With bowed head and palms together, I beseech all perfect Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma and remain as long as beings remain. So this verse can be like this. This verse can be totally in your mind, because you're bowing with body, speech, and the most important thing, your mind. The gratitude, the respect, the devotion. That's the best prostration that you can do. Much better than upsetting anybody, everybody, or anybody when you prostrate with your body. Nobody sees what you're doing. But if it helps you, because it's a very nice gesture, and if you have been to India, when they say namaste, they're not going like this, they go like that. Many Westerners in Corona also started very spontaneously to say hello like this. Maybe they haven't even seen it, but they found this, it's a gesture of, I'm seeing actually what it means, this namaste gesture, I'm seeing my own good potential and I see yours, maybe be able to live it. So this is, may both goodnesses come together. That's this namaste. Yeah, so you also say when you go. Yeah. So it's a very nice gesture. So it can be, if it inspires you, you do that. If not, then that's fine. It has an effect. This, your two hands touching your heart. It definitely does on the mind. So we should use everything that is useful. Not when it makes somebody upset and say, oh, you're so holy, what are you doing? You know, but when we're alone, or like that. From time to time, just, I'm so fortunate. Thank you very much to whoever is your guide. So I beseech all perfect Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma and remain as long as beings remain, because they're not kind of throwing it on people, they're teaching only if it's wanted. Through the merit of doing this and the merit of I have done and will do, may all sentient beings be endowed with unsurpassed bodhicitta. So then you already come away from self-centeredness. May all sentient beings have immaculate faculties and transcend the unfree states. May they control their own actions and live the right livelihood. May all embodied beings have jewels in their hands, meaning may nobody have to create negativities because they're poor. This is basically what it means. And transcend the unfree states. May they control their own actions and live by right livelihood. If you are rich, it is so much easier to live by right livelihood, not to cheat, not to steal, to be able to share. If you're poor, it is, your children are hungry and there's food and nobody is observing it, it is really difficult to abstain from stealing it. That's why we have to have, now we have to be careful about our ethical conduct, because now we have the opportunity. We're not forced into doing anything negative. May all embodied beings, this we have read, at all times, may all people born of low status become supreme persons. May all beings be endowed with intelligence and legs. Okay, some of the versions, I want to be totally honest here, you might know, what does it say? Some of the versions, may all people be born as, they will be shocked, as men. The Buddha makes these aspirations, not in a male body, that's not so important, but not as woman, where it is very easy to harm you. Because if we look, who gets harmed the most? It's women. That's where it comes from. But when, you know, if you don't know that and you see, may all beings born as men, like, what? The women. Yeah? So this is why it has been changed into may all beings born of low status. Because yeah, I mean, even now women battle for their status, to have the same salary in Switzerland, to have the same salaries as the men, to get the same status, not to have to be double good if they have a very responsible job. You know, they always have to prove that they're worthy of their job if you're a woman. Yes?
What's the meaning of the legs? Legs? That means like...
Which one?
At the end, legs.
Oh, with legs. Yeah, I don't really know. Probably human. You know, to be born as human with human intelligence. Or there might be something that being born as a snake is really negative karma, because why? Everybody's out to kill you. Yeah. You see a snake, you have the possibility. Well, also scorpions, and they do have legs. You know, there's we can always find the spot, but anyway.
So you endorse killing snakes? You endorse killing snakes?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I endorse not killing even mosquitoes. Yeah. I go as far as that. No. But in general, you know, it's like you see, we have a feeling of certain things we can kill. If I kill a cat because I dislike cats, everybody would be shocked. Why do we make that distinction? Who says? It's okay to kill snakes, but no, don't kill cats. they can be just as harmful. You know how many insects that are necessary and birds the cats kill? I live with a friend. Every morning this cat comes home at 5 o'clock. Meow. Meow. Because she can't open her mouth because she's got a mouse in the mouth. But she wants me to come and see before she eats it. So luckily all the mice she brings are dead. So I'm really grateful. Then I say mantras, put the mantra underneath, blow on it, then she eats it. I tell you, have you ever seen a cat eating a mouse?
Yes.
Half a minute, it's all gone. Because I said to the owner of the cat, I thought it was dead, but I think it ran away, it's gone. He said, no, it's in the stomach. And they leave the gallbladder, bladder, totally as if you cut it out, very clean, because it's bitter. They leave that behind.
She should put a bell on.
Yeah, doesn't help. She is they live in the countryside. She is such a good hunter. I mean, and every morning, sometimes 2. Nothing that can be done. Bell doesn't help, this doesn't, nothing else. She's tired. But then again, from the Buddhist point of view, this mouse will die anyway. Okay, will be caught maybe by another cat or will die. This one, her name is Nima, actually it's a he. He brings it home, me or the owner, bless the mouse. So maybe they can have a good rebirth. So maybe it's good. Maybe this Nima is a Bodhisattva who wants all these mice who would otherwise die without blessings, without prayers, and without wish for them to have a good rebirth, die and be reborn as who knows what, maybe a cat.
Lucky mice.
Hmm?
Lucky.
Lucky, yeah, lucky mice. Yeah, exactly, this is what I'm saying. I feel terrible every time because they must have died probably in terror also. But Nima must be such a good killer that I don't know if he plays with them or not before.
What about Nima's karma?
Huh?
What about Nima's karma?
Yeah,
Because he's killing all the time.
this is really bad. So this is why he sits there. Also, he's very peaceful. Otherwise, he likes to be petted, he likes to be held, and he listens to all the prayers. May he put some good imprints on his mind. But we cannot prevent him. And the only thing would be you go to a place where there's no mice. But what can you do? This is nature, this is samsara. Okay, so much for the legs. Thank you for the question.
Although the last sentence, this is nature, this is samsara,
Yeah, sometimes it's big. But I cannot, I only kind of manipulate prayers when it makes sense, when it has a reason, because for example, when I went for the scattering of the ashes of this Buddhist friend of mine, but it's the family who said, can we come? And it was only the family. So I started to kind of manipulate the prayers a little bit so that they wouldn't be shocked. And that they could relate to it also. But otherwise I leave it and then we just have to see what we do with it. So may all beings have a good complexion and also good physique. May they be radiant and pleasant to behold, free of illness. May they be strong and live long. May they gain expertise in skillful means, not in chasing mice, and become free of all sufferings. May they be devoted to the three rare sublime ones and have the great treasure of Buddha Dharma or any other path that leads them to liberation and enlightenment. May they be adorned with love, compassion, joy, the ability to remain equanimous in the face of hardship, generosity, ethical conduct, fortitude, joyous effort, meditative stability, and wisdom. Thus adorned, may they complete all the collections and obtain brilliant signs and marks. May they traverse without hindrance the 10 grounds to the inconceivable, which is full enlightenment. May I also be adorned with these good qualities and all others as well. May I become free from all faults, and may I attain supreme love for all beings. May I perfect the virtues to which all beings aspire, and may I always dispel the sufferings of all beings. In all worlds, may all beings who are feeling anxious due to fear become completely fearless merely by hearing my name. It's so beautiful. Yeah, maybe this one you can, if you're a therapist, this one would be for you. Maybe, may beings just seeing me